Lanchester LD10 Mgb Roadster.
Right, you sure the car's done? Yeah.
Welcome to Car Attraction. In today's video we're at the Smallwood Vintage Rally. What we do first is have a look around the classic cars. So we've got a lovely Land Cruiser here, very rugged and usable. Triumph Herald or Vitesse. Not quite sure which, not too good with them. And this is a Dolomite, and I thought it might be a Triumph 1500. The earlier ones would have been called the 1500, but this is probably a Dolomite. Is it Sprint? Ah, no, sadly not. Next to an Aston Martin DB7. Very swoopy shape, great car in my opinion. Now we have a very nice red Mgb Roadster. Is this a Hillman Avenger? Next. Oh no, it's a Granada. I'm sure the Hillman Avenger looks nothing like this. So Mark 1 Ford Granada next to a very tasty MG8. You don't usually see them in this sort of colour. Iconic British classic here would have been seen on the roads in the 50s and 60s. Austin A30, I always prefer the A30 to the A35. I think one of the advantages of having an A35 though would be visibility out of the rear, because one of the things that was with the earlier A30s was they had quite a small rear window. But I love the sort of little dumpy shape. It's almost like a mini Somerset, isn't it? I just think if you made that a few foot longer, it'd look like a Somerset. And we have a very late Beetle, you can tell by the large rear lights and its very large bumper. And here we have those two Chevettes we saw coming in earlier. Very tiny Mgb 1000 in brown, very unusual colour. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one in this. And then Consul. Another very ornate and Americanised car, really. There's some big Chevy thing. Not sure what that is. And then we have a nice Chevy pickup. It's huge, this thing. Next to a much older shaped Chevy that is very modified. I actually quite like it. I'm not sure about these LED lights, but actually I quite like its matte paint. It makes it look worked and usable. Obviously lowering it was a common modification these days. You can see some old tyres actually there. Could this actually be on air? I'm not sure. As a Ford tractor rolls past with the iconic blue. We have a Capri with the Go Faster stripes on it, and I think these are slightly later shaped RS wheels. A very nice spoiler. Ducktail spoiler can also be found. Oh, it says it V8, but that's fun. Ducktail spoiler can also be found on some Nissans, such as the 240Z, 260Z, and the 280Z. Another very good shape of cars, but I definitely prefer the 240s and 260s because the 280s got a bit. Obviously trying to be aimed at the American market, a bit plasticky and a bit flabby. Same can't be said, of course, for the iconic Mazda MX-5. I wonder if it's a UNOS or not. I think 70% of the ones that we see are UNOSes. Yeah, see, this is a UNOS. It's actually quite rare to see a Mazda MX-5 proper one, because obviously in Japan they didn't have road salt, but over here they do, so all the UK ones are a bit rotten. A very nice Mini with slightly wider wheels. Are they actually a bit wider than usual? I like the colours on that. Very nice Austin Healey 3000, referring to its 3 litre straight 6, of course. Proper British classic next to a very original Ford Fiesta Mark 1, August 1981. Next to the 100E Anglia shape. Quite a usable classic in my opinion. It's quite a dumpy, cute shape, I think. Next to a very popular car now, the TR6. Triumph TR6 in white, I haven't seen that before. With its branded soft top. That must be some sort of later modification, I don't remember anything like that. Next to an MGC, now you can tell it's an MGC, so it had the straight six, which means it has to have the hump in the bonnet to accommodate the bigger engine. I like the wheels, that looks good. But I mean, can anything beat mini lights? Then we have a Mark 1 Escort. Very tidy car. Next to another very nice Mark 1 Escort. This one looks like it's done up to be a bit faster, while this one looks very original. Finally, we finish. Is this an A35 or an A30? An A35, I think. Yeah, it's the A35. Triumph Stag. Isn't it? It's 60th year. Remember they had a big do at the Silverstone Classic for some sort of anniversary of the Stag. Just in front of the track there's a Rover P4 with the white wall tyres. Proper usable classic in my opinion. Very nice, a nicer shape to the Rover P5. Obviously the Rover P5 would have had either the 3 litre, which I think was a straight 6, or the 3.5 litre iconic Rover V8. But I think these ones look nicer. I think they have something like a 4-cylinder, but I'm sure it's enough to keep up with modern traffic. Then we have an Escort Rs2000. A huge American barge. Oh, Caddy Eldorado this one is, with the American flag adorned all across the seats. This thing is just massive. I'm gonna have to step back to get it all in. But there we go. And then there's a very nice Morris Cowley bullnose. Pre-war classic, pre-war British car. I like the running boards, if I can call them that, but not too substantial, but very ornate, actually. Simple interior, but certainly works. Works for me as well. I like the leather straps. I think old cars like this and Jaguar XK120 should always have straps. It just looks so much better. Austin A35 pickup. Very rare to see a pickup. Next to a Frog Eye Sprite. And a couple of MGs with very suitable registrations. Next to the iconic Model T. Next to this fantastic Rolls Royce, we have a very nice old Austin. The horns on the front as well. Just behind me I can see something else pre-war. Another Mark 1 Escort. Next to a very early Morris Minor with the cheese grater grille. Convertible as well, added rarity points there. With the earlier shape interior. Now the later Muggies, as I'm sure you know, would have had the large circular dial, which probably means that the driver behind can see what speed you're doing better than you can. Because I'm sure it's probably pretty easily visible from the back with such a huge speedometer. A gorgeous Rolls Royce as well. A very princely car. Here's that pre-war. I'm not quite sure what that is actually. Is it a standard or something? But this Rolls Royce is just beautiful. to the Mgb Traveller, pretty much an estate version of the Mgb 1000. Another modified Ford Pickup, fantastic looking vehicle. Next to a couple of min bins and an Mgb. Watch your speed sign and an exhaust. Maybe he's a bit scared that one's going to fall off. Well, there's two of them. With a gorgeous J-type van in green. Next to a Model T pickup truck from 1917. It looks very ornate with all the wood. Lightweight Land Rover. Here we have two Series 3 E-types, one of which is in white, with the white wall tyres, looking very Americanised. Next to one in yellow. Then we have a Daimler, I believe these are called the Sovereign. And then the Jag version. Next to a very unusual Renault, is this an 11 or something? I'm not sure, if you know, please let me know. And then a Renault Gordini. I remember this one at other shows, gorgeous car. Very nice pale blue Triumph Spitfire. It's the Mark III, I think this is when they went to the high bumpers. Then we have a Pontiac Catalina. I remember I recently saw this at a show. To step back a bit to get that all in one shot. We have a big Chevy pickup again. Big 70s thing. Next to another TR6. I think these are the 2.5 injected straight six, so quite a woofly nice sounding engine. Next to it, is this a single Gazelle? I'm pretty sure it is. There you go, single Gazelle. Austin Allegro now. Mgb Roadster. Now here we have a very nice car in my opinion, a Lanchester LD10, pretty much just post-war. One of the things I love about this car is the very satisfying bonnet release. It's really satisfying, you hinge it back, but it's really nice. I'm not quite sure, this is an Opel or something. Oh wow, it's some sort of old Morris. Looks really original condition. Sporting the tape at the end of the vinyl roof. And we have a nice old Wolseley, once again just post-war. Next to a massive Dodge in a very odd colour scheme. I like it, but I've never seen one in these colours before. I love that. That's where a can would go, but you can see it already says Shell Motor Spirit. I really like that. Very simple interior, but it does what it needs to do. Now we have an Escort XR3i convertible, and I'm sure this is pretty rare, but you see more of these than you do Vauxhall Nova 1.2 litres. These would have been everywhere back in the day, but now extremely rare, because they're probably all rotted away. Is this a Westminster, is it? I'm not sure. This is an Austin Westminster or something like that. Then we have a nice Riley based on the Mini. A very grand Rover P2 here, looking very shiny with its nice polished up horns. Once again, just post-war with the nice leather seats as well. Next to an Escort Rs with the slightly later four-lighted front.
That's brilliant. line up, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, we'll just wait till they cut their end. No, Super Sport, sorry. Back to Ford Fiesta, and you know, right, you restored the car, sir? Yeah. Almost finished. But the interior, the same as original. Keep it up one if you can. Thank you very much. That's the road.
This guy's got the right idea.
Is this a Toledo, sir? Is this a Toledo? Hello, is this a Toledo?
We got told that, but it's Emily apparently. We've had different names.